we are getting into something which is very important in project management, in life, and in leadership, and that is stakeholder management. These are moments where people get frustrated, they get lost, project failure, and you don't really know what to do. You don't really know where to start. That is where stakeholder management comes in. And why is it important? It is important because that is where the key of your project success lies. If you don't understand how to manage your stakeholders, if you don't know how to prioritize them, if you don't know how to identify them, you are in trouble as far as project management is concerned and your project. That is what is going to lead to your project success. That is what can break or make your project. So that is where we are getting into today, and in today's episode is one of a kind because I'm speaking from experience and from my heart when it comes to understanding who people are and how you can better manage them in a way that doesn't lead to project failure, in a way that leads to project success. Let's get into this. So the first thing is, who is a stakeholder? A stakeholder is anyone affected by your project or has the ability to influence that outcome, the outcome of your project. That is, anyone who can impact or affect your project is a stakeholder. Then when we talk of stakeholder management, it is your ability to identify, understand, communicate effectively with them, and make sure that the project is tracked according to your stakeholders. That is stakeholder management. It is very important for you to understand these two concepts when it comes to stakeholder management. The next thing is know the type of stakeholders that exist. There are 4 stakeholders. We have the internal stakeholders, and we have the external stakeholders, we have the primary stakeholders, and we have secondary stakeholders. When we're talking about the primary stakeholders, we have people who are like working in the team, who are responsible for making sure that things happen. We have the external stakeholders, we have people who are outside that organization, we have vendors, we have clients. Those are external stakeholders. We have primary stakeholders. These are stakeholders that are affected by that project, that are primarily using that project. And then we have the secondary stakeholders. These are simply people who are part of that project or are interested in that project. Those are your secondary stakeholders. I'm going to give a very relatable example that you can understand what project holders are or stakeholders are. Imagine you're trying to build a website, right? You're building a website for a school. You understand that the IT teams and the teachers are the internal stakeholders. Now, the external stakeholders are the people who are going to be using it. That is the students, the parents. Those are your external stakeholders. Now, the primary stakeholders are the students who are using that website. Now, when you come to the secondary stakeholders, we are talking about the parents who are tracking how their students or their children are using that website. Is it effective? Is it going? That is where the difference comes in. And I hope this example helps you to understand the differences between these stakeholders, which is very important. And if you don't know the differences, if you don't understand who a stakeholder is, it is going to be very difficult for you to manage them. The simple framework that I'm going to give you is going to enable you to work with your stakeholders effectively. And if you use them the right way, you are going to manage your project stakeholders effectively. Now, the first thing that you need to do is identify all your stakeholders. You list them out. Know who are your stakeholders. That is the first thing. Once you have listed them out, do the analysis. The analysis is to enable you know who to prioritize and who not to prioritize, because there are people that you just need to keep them informed in your project and they are good to go. There are people that you need to give them regular updates. You need to do this analysis. The next thing that you need to do is prioritize them now by giving them updates. Make sure that you engage with them and do all those things that are necessary for your project to be successful. If you don't engage with your stakeholders, it will be very difficult for you to succeed in your project. It's like you're working for people that you don't know who you're working for. Exactly. If you don't engage with your stakeholders, you are just working for yourself. You are not working for a project, you are not working for a company, you are not working for someone. So it's important that you know this. Why is it important for you to do this? It is important because you are going to save yourself from project failure. You're going to save yourself from conflict. You're going to save yourself from lack of engagement and priorities. Those are the most important things that you need to do to save your project. Because if you don't understand what stakeholder management is, it will be very difficult for you to engage with them. You need to understand them, their communication channel, their language. People have different ways of engaging with others. Once you have come to terms and understanding what they need the most, that is a better project management approach. And if anything I've shared with you today resonated, if it sparked a thought, a question, or even just a feeling, then hit that subscribe button. And my promise to you is to consistently bring you real, honest, and valuable content that helps you figure out project management, leadership, one conversation at a time. Thank you for being here. Cheers.